politics.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God.
Why did you launch into that? Because you
really
felt a threat to your country.
Yeah, God.
What?
You know...
you went pretty far, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. It was a lot. It was a lot. That was so much. I said so much.
You really did.
Mm-hmm. Never has anyone said so much about something of which they know so little.
But did you want to reel it back, or you don't care?
I mean, it is what it is. You live with what you say. You say it and you live with it.
After you said, I mean, you know.
I was like, oh boy, after I wrote it. I mean, the second after I sent it, I was like, ugh.
Did you really?
My daughter said to me, I told my daughter, my 10-year-old.
You did? You told her what you did?
She didn't read it, but I told her basically what it was.
You compared him to a very evil guy.
They're going to kill you on this. She said, you're going to get killed on this. She said, they're
10-year-old daughter.
She said they're never going to stop bugging you about it. But they have, by the way. It's not that big a deal.
And I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, it's fine. That's all right. I think the thing with especially presidential politics, it's every 4 years.
I know.
We have this
obsession.
Well, it's a discussion that's very important. It's like a family thing. It's like a family thing. It's like a family decision. The way people take it, it's very personal.
Yeah.
It's like a member of your. It's like if you had an election in your family. If you're in a family that's like living as a family, and you had an election, is mom or dad going to be in charge for the next 4 years? Or is our brother going to take dad's spot?
Right.
You know, which is what it felt like to me when Clinton won. It felt like our brother took over for dad, you know?
Yeah.
Or
he was one of us.
Yeah, or maybe 3 of your siblings brought some woman that you don't know to the house and said, we're going to replace mom with her, and we have the votes to do it. And you would go, what? The amount of anger and passion that an election in your family would have.
So that's what we're doing right now.
That's what it's like. That's because it's very emotional. It's not a rational thing. Yeah. It's not based on, you know, picking somebody to do a job. It's based on how we all feel and what we want to say to the rest of the world and what we're afraid of, and you know what I mean? It's a big deal. So I'm a American citizen.
Yes, you are.
So
congratulations.
Yeah, so whoever's president affects my life like it does everybody else's.
Yeah.
A vote is a personal thing, and it's a personal right. But your vote also affects everybody else. So it's a really tricky thing. And I think the thing about American politics is that it's always going to be a big, messy fight. That's what democracy is. Like, people would feel more united and at peace if we were all being oppressed by one, you know, government. Then everybody gets along better. But when we're all trying to decide, and we're all very different from each other, it's a big, ugly, difficult
Democracy
fight.
is ugly.
Yeah, it's really, really, it's painful. And so I was feeling
it seems to have gotten really ugly this year, though.
Yeah, I think we always say that, but I think that's true. This one is really, really, this one is there's a lot of pain involved, and I was feeling a lot of fear, and I wrote my little email saying Horace and Pete episode, whatever it was that week, I think it was 6, is ready for download. Enjoy. I got to go back to sleep. I was actually in bed. I was going to go back to sleep because my kids are coming in a few hours. I wanted a little nap, and then I wrote P.S., and all I meant to write was stop with the Trump. Just stop it. It's not funny anymore. That's all I was going to write. And then I sat there and I looked at it and I was like, you know, because this. Well, because also, and the thing is this, and then this, and this, and this. And I wrote this whole malignant tumor of a thing. This wasp nest of thoughts. And I sent it to my mom, and she said, sure. Send it.
You sent it to her proposal?
Yeah. She said, go ahead and send it. I hate to put her on the spot, but she said
sure.
And I was like, yeah. And there's part of me that
this is late at night?
It was Saturday morning.
Oh, Saturday morning. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And so I sent it. And it's a very weird thing because I'm sending this to just people that are on my email subscription list. It's a little select group of people.
Right.
But then it's on Twitter in seconds, and then it's in. I mean, I knew that more people would read it than who I sent it to, and I figured a few people will go, this guy's a jerk, and I knew that, you know, whatever. I was like, whatever, let's just see what happens. And then it's in every news publication in the world.
Yes.
And the more it grew, the more I was like, oh, God damn it, why did I do this to myself? Like, this is so dumb. And then all these things that I kind of just thought, they're just feelings I had, and some of them contradicted each other. Some of them were like, you know, geez, I don't know this. Geez, I don't know this. But then all of a sudden, there's just this weight and this vice being put on the thing, and these words are being tested, and none of them hold up, because it just was one guy talking like with a beer in his hand. It's just a guy, you know what I mean? It's just my opinion at the moment about the election, and it was based on some big feelings, and I stand by some of it.
You compared him to Hitler.
Yeah, sure. Not Hitler when he was done. You know, I mean, that's
no, I know.
That's an unfair comparison
in the 30s
for anybody.
when he was coming up,
yeah,
and how he
in his rookie years. Yeah, that was when he was, you know.
And you said what?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess I feel like there's similar dynamics. Yeah, I guess so. I guess I feel that way, and I did then, and you know.
You haven't changed.
No, I think it's a scary time, and I don't think you can. Every time somebody terrible comes along, and then we kill them, and then we say there'll never be another one of those, and we say that guy was from another planet. That wasn't a human being. Humans don't make people like that. He came from an egg. That guy was hatched from an egg. And so as long as we don't hatch people from eggs, we won't have any of those. Well, no, he had a mommy and he had a daddy,
exactly.
And he was a baby, right. And he played.
He went to school?
He went to school, he had friends.
Yeah.
You know, whoever I'm describing, he's done all these things. He's been nurtured by parents. He's been a good friend to somebody somewhere. He's listened to somebody who needed to be listened to. And then this thing built, and then he ended up all these terrible things that he did, and it happened through him. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that I would, if I had it to do over again, say all that about Trump again. Look, I think Trump is more from my world than he is from politics. You know, he's one of us. He's a showbiz guy.
He's an entertainer.
He's an entertainer. So I feel like we're responsible for him.
Yeah, but you know what I hear? I hear this making his way into your routine.
I don't think so. I think I think I said everything I need to say about Donald Trump. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's where I felt a little bit bad because a lot of people got mad at me and they said, just shut up. Just shut your mouth. Don't tell me. You know, a lot of times when you say, don't tell me what to think, right? I'm not telling anybody what to think. I'm expressing myself during an election.
You're telling them what you think.
Yeah, that's right. But I did come into their lives through the funny ha-ha door, and then I took a big political serious on their table. So I get being irritated. I get it. I get why people would be irritated with my having written that. It's not what I do best. It's not what I'm known for. It's not what I'm asked about. You know what I mean? I mean, if you invited somebody to your house because you knew they were really funny and fun, and then they just said all this stuff, you'd be like, what are you doing to me? So I get why people got irritated. It's interesting to me, a lot of liberals got mad because I suggested that maybe conservatives and liberals have equal value and that they should each have a shot at running the government.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way that I was raised. I came from Mexico. When I was a little kid, I lived in Mexico. Right. And I remember coming to America and discovering it as a little boy from another country. And the idea of democracy and free speech was just an incredible thing to me. And it's still, I look at it with wide open eyes. I'm very innocent that way. And the way I look at the world is that I feel a certain way about how the country should be run, but not everybody feels the way I do. So when there's enough of me to push the election over to our side, we get a president for a while. Yeah. But the other side, who feels differently than I do, they should get an equal shot. Because it's not all my country, it's a lot of people's country. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course I do.
So democracy shouldn't, some people think democracy means I always get things the way I want them. Well, I don't look at it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, democracy means sometimes I'm really frustrated with the way the government works. Then I know it's working right. That's the way I look at it, and I'm in my 40s, and so to me, Obama's a liberal. He's a liberal president. To some people, he's a huge conservative. It depends on how you look at it. Everybody looks at it differently. But I don't think Trump is any of these things. I think Trump is a guy who will dismantle the actual process. That's the only reason I said something. I'm not known for making political statements. I've never done this before. I have no track record of running my mouth politically.
Will you do it again?
No, I probably won't. But the reason I did in this case was because this isn't about I believe in the liberal cause and I want a liberal. It was because this guy feels like he could chuck it all away, and he's even saying he wants to. He's saying he wants to make it that you can sue people for writing something you didn't like. Yeah. You know, it's insane. So anyway, I shouldn't have said even what I said now, but
But you did.
I shouldn't have written it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You don't mean that.
No, not at all. No.
Can I just talk about family for a moment?
Sure.
The kids are older now. Do they laugh at you?
Yeah, they do. We laugh together. You know, we all laugh together in different ways. The 10-year-old, it's a jovial, fun laughing.
Right.
And the 14-year-old, we talk about all kinds of stuff and we laugh about life together. She reads a lot. She's a very intelligent kid, and she's very curious and thoughtful. So we have a lot to talk about. It's great. It's the greatest part of life.
Talking to your kids.
Oh, yeah, and being, you know, the thing about being with your kids, and you don't have to be doing anything. You could be at the DMV, or you can be waiting in line at the grocery store and you're having a good time. And
have they seen Horace and Pete?
Yeah, they can. My oldest came to the taping of the last episode, and it was really, really something to have her there. They're bored by what I do, which is probably a good thing. They have their own TV that they watch, and sometimes they'll be like, "Hey, there's an episode of my show that's like appropriate,"
yeah,
and they're like, rather watch, you know, Portlandia, Gravity Falls, Bob's Burgers. Yeah. Very popular show with them.
See, my last question is there was a time in which you weren't going to do another episode of Louis. I think it may have been between 4 and 5. Or
yeah, I took a break, yeah.
You took a break.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you have a thought.
Yeah.
And it seizes you.
Right.
And so all of a sudden, you've got another series.
That's right.
And so what might happen, having to do with Louis or anything else, some idea just grabs you.
Then I got to do it, yeah.
You got to do it.
Yeah, no matter what it takes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
Pleasure.
Yeah, same here. Always. Always.